Is it live now?
Yeah, it is live. What happened to narration?
Welcome, Masters. Happy evening. As part of the ongoing sessions for the upcoming Buddha Poonima, today we just joined, and today we have our wonderful guest, Naresh Kumar Lingampally. He lives in Abre, Texas, works as an IT professional. He was introduced to PSSM by his wife, Arunachaleshwari, during Mega Meditation Summit 1. And he, his wife, and along with their children, their family has embraced meditation since then. And Naresh is an active PSSM volunteer supporting technical activities at various events. His family goal is, and his goal is to enhance PSSM's digital presence and reach more meditators through high quality content. Uh, Both his wife and himself are active in tech department, and they also embraced PSSM 18 principles very well. They're very good example of Patriji's warriors, spiritual warriors. So let's welcome Naresh with a thunderous applause. And today we'll meditate first, and then Naresh ji will talk about today's topic is, are you Yashodhara or Buddha? So we'll first meditate for 20 minutes. Please sit comfortably. Pushpa, are you going to share the audio?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Please sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Clasp your hands. We'll be doing Anapanasati meditation. So our incoming and outgoing breath. We'll slowly empty our mind and be with our breath. Let's get into meditation, masters. Let's enjoy the bliss. Be with your breath, masters. Observe your breath, masters. Breath is your Guru Master. Be with your breath. You notice your thinking. Bring your awareness back to your breath. When you are with your breath, you go into deeper and deeper state of stillness, Master. Receive abundant cosmic energy. This cosmic energy is doing wonders to your body, your physical health, mental health, emotional health is healed, Masters. Be with your breath. Meditation is an inward journey, Master. You will discover yourself when you are with your breath. This is the blissful state, Master, that you want to be in. Come back to your breath. Your breath, Masters. Meditation is an ultimate gift you can give yourself. Aware of the breath, the ever-going breath of triumph, simple breath, Masters. The pure happening breath. 10 more minutes, masters. Be with your breath. You notice your thinking. Come back to your breath, masters. This meditation is healing you, master. Meditate. Be with your breath. Notice the bliss.
Thank you. Last 1 minute, my dear friends. Slowly try to come back, my dear friends. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Keep both of your hands on your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you, masters. Thank you, Karuna, for the beautiful guiding.
Masters, you enjoyed your meditation. And now, we have our Naresh Lingampally ji with us. He's going to talk about, are you Buddha or Yashodhara today? The stage is yours, Naresh.
Thank you, Karuna garu. Thank you very much. It was a very good meditation for me. It was very good. I'm just take 30 more seconds to really kind of come out of it. Thank you. So what I want to talk about today is it's just a question to ourselves, right? Are you a Buddha or are you Yashodhara? It may not be a very conventional story that we have learned through the books or maybe what we had heard from most of the masters. But I want to set the context about what I'm going to talk about, right? So when we talk about Buddha, there is not just one Buddha. So there were Buddhas before Gautama and there are Buddhas after Gautama, right? So what does it mean? It means that, you know, Buddha refers to, so if someone says that I'm taking refuge in Buddha, it means that taking refuge in Buddha means it's like it refers to the qualities of enlightenment itself. It is like you are taking refuge in the qualities of enlightenment itself and not a specific person. Buddha is definitely not a specific person that we're talking about, right? Gautama is the name of the person, the master that we talk about. So all of us should keep in mind that there were Buddhas before Gautama and there are Buddhas after Gautama. All of them are enlightened masters. And what is the speciality of this master is something that attracted, that created the ease of this path. A self-discipline was put forward and everything fall in line through his teachings, right? Now, so if we want to follow Buddha, does not mean that you have to be a monk, does not mean that you have to wear the robes that he has wore or probably follow his attire and we kind of replicate what he has done, right? Buddha has taught a lot of, there are a lot of teachings of Buddha. All you got to do is follow those teachings, live those teachings. Not just Buddha. Similarly, let's say we talk about Jesus. So we follow Jesus does not mean that you kind of wear the robes or dress or have the hairstyle like what Jesus is being depicted. So Jesus, the characteristics is compassion, the love for the people. Even though when he was on the cross, he still looked at all of the people who are trying to trouble him as his as people or as his brothers and sisters, that they are doing everything in because of this ignorance, right? So the characteristics is important, guys. So if you are following Hanuman, we all talk about Hanuman, and you don't have to be a heavy built person when you are following Hanuman. You follow the characteristics. There are certain teachings that all these masters are given. So you follow the teachings, you observe the values that they have created, you kind of understand what is the path that they laid before us to really kind of help yourself. So today I want to talk about such characteristics that I have personally learned in Buddha and Yashodhara. Right? Let me just give a a very quick view about how these entire characteristics have come out and what is that we need to learn about. For an instance, we all know Gautama's Siddhartha's parents, Shuddhodana and Maya. They lived in the place Kapilavastu is the place or the kingdom, or you can say clan, kingdom, and everything. That's where they reside, right? So right after Buddha was born, as a tradition, as a culture, the parents would kind of have the high priest or someone look at their horoscopes or kundali is what we talk about, kundali or horoscopes, and how this child's future is going to be, what is he aspired to be, and everything would be kind of calculated based on the time and date and place where you are born. So when Gautama was at his young age, when they were kind of building this kundali or the horoscope, I would say, they have understood or they have realized that this child is not a normal child. He would soon attain something called vairagya, or he would definitely go or look for non-societal path. Now, when his parents Shuddhodana and Maya has realized it, and by stature they are the kings of that particular location, of that kingdom, so they made sure that they gave all the possible luxuries that Gautama can have in his right from his childhood to his young age. So he was exposed to all the luxury aspects. He was about maybe it might be the big castles that they built for him, or might be the way he was being treated. And by birth he is a prince. There is no question that he would be getting that that kind of a treatment. But he was given a special attention to make sure that he's much more closer to the society or do not get into vairagya. Now, as a part of it, Shuddhodana has made sure that he got Gautama married to the most beautiful girl, Yashodhara, and it's not like it just happened. Even Yashodhara's father had made sure that he's choosing the right groom or the right boy for his girl, and he asked he did test Gautama in multiple ways, and Gautama was able to really kind of clear those tests which Yashodhara's father has put forward. They thought it is a right match for both of them, and they got married. Eventually, Rahul was born, who is Gautama and Yashodhara's son. Now, while all these events are happening in his life, Buddha has expressed a lot of times about his thoughts of really kind of going into vairagya or going into the spiritual state. And his father was trying to convince him. His parents really kind of tried to hold him as much as he can. And at a stage, Buddha has got a lot of triggers in his life, like he has experienced four sides, is what they say, right? Like old age, sickness, death, and renunciation, and everything. And Siddhartha or Gautama realized that uh, that this is all impermanence, right? And the suffering is inherent in life, and this led him to renounce, and his thoughts became very stronger to renounce the luxury of his life that he's experiencing, and and that family is giving, and seek a deeper knowledge on truth and or the understanding of existence. Now, at the age of 29, he was married to Yashodhara, and Rahul was born. He was not even I don't know the exact age, but I'm sure he's not at the age of coming out of the bed or walking on his own. Gautama goes to his father, and it discusses about his actions. Basically, he really wants to renounce everything and go out in search of the truth. The satya is what we talk about, right? Finally, Shuddhodana was not able to convince Gautama. Gautama set out at the age of 29. Now, he did not feel it as necessary, or he was definitely not ignoring, but he had to leave the house overnight without informing Yashodhara. Now, this is a very important event, right? The father knows the thought or what the desires that his son has, and he has been holding him for so long, and finally, the son Gautama has set himself free and is going out. But for Yashodhara, she got just married, she gave birth to a baby boy, Rahul, and is very young, and her husband left him without informing him. So there is a kind of emotion that was built with Yashodhara, and that emotion has grew up, and she was holding on to that particular emotion for a very, very long time. And her thought was, he has gone for a greater purpose. I'm very happy with that, but still he was my husband. He should have at least informed me. He should have considered me. I wouldn't have said no before he left. So leaving me like this, so this is something which she could not really kind of digest the point, and she carried that emotion for a very long time. Now, we all know when he left the house at the age of 29, he was enlightened, or his awakening was at the age of 35. So this 6 years, Buddha has practiced a lot. For Gautama has practiced a lot of practices that were there in that particular aspect, in that particular era or the time period. He visited a lot of gurus. He's gone through a lot of practices which were available back then. He has realized there is much more than what is available, and he started his own path, and he has discovered something that would help help an individual to start his path of enlightenment. Now, out of this 6 years, whatever he has learned, the last 49 days, which is around 7 weeks, he meditated continuously under the Bodhi tree. That's when he got his enlightenment. And he started doing his teachings. The Buddha's teachings started by then. So by the age of 35, Buddha's teachings have started. Now, Buddha has grew at a point that his teachings were very simple. He was definitely not trying to offend any religion, offend any spiritual guru at that point of time, but he was trying to get everyone onto the true path. So all he was doing is to show the truth, talk truth, and follow that path. And he has so his teachings were so popular that it was told that anyone who's going in front of him, they would kind of surrender to himself and say Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. So that's what it happens. Now the word has passed across multiple places, and everyone started talking about this new Buddha, Gautama Buddha, as we call. And as usual, Shuddhodana has also heard about his son's enlightenment, and he wants to meet his son. Now, Shuddhodana has sent a lot of people, a lot of his, men to go convince Gautam Buddha. Now he's a Buddha right now, Gautam Buddha, to really kind of, get him visit his parents at least once, since he's got his enlightenment, since he has achieved what he was desiring for all these days. And unfortunately or fortunately, everyone who went to visit Buddha was surrendering themselves, and it was known that they never came back. Everyone were Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. So finally, Shuddhodana calls one of Buddha's childhood friends. His name was Kaludai. He calls Kaludai. Kaludai was also a spiritual guy at that point of time. He's more or less a monk. He'll try to explain that, I've sent a lot of people, a lot of individuals went there, but I did not hear from them. They've been following Buddha, but my only wish is to see my son once, or make Gautama Buddha visit Kapilvastu once. Now, Kaludai agreed to that, and all of them knew that he's not going to come back. He's going to go surrender himself like anyone else and say Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. But Kaludai promised that I'm going to pass on this message, right? I'm going to pass on this message to Buddha, that you are expecting him in Kapilvastu, and as a parent, as a son, he would request your visits to his parents. It happened. Kaludai went to Buddha. He passed on his message, and eventually he joins Buddha's. He started his own journey under the guidance of Buddha. Finally, after so many days, Buddha reaches Kapilvastu. It was a night time, and instead of going to his parents' place or his palace, he visits Dharamshala. Now everyone was surprised. Even though he's a Buddha, for the people around in Kapilvastu, he's still their prince, right? Everyone was surprised that the prince of the kingdom is residing in a Dharamshala. And everyone started questioning him. Why is that? Why don't you go to your palace? Why don't you, you have come after a long time, and everything was, one a question. Buddha's answer was, I did not come here as Gautama or a son of Suddhodana. I'm here as a monk. So I have renounced all my, the family or the luxury, and I'm at a stage that it no longer concerns me. Early in the morning, he starts going for bhiksha. So as a monk, as per the dharam, he can go for bhikshatana, and he started going for bhiksha in his own kingdom. And that raised a lot of questions again. And Shuddhodana felt like, hey, you know what, this is very insulting for me that, my son is a prince. He's come home from after 6 years. He doesn't visit me, but he kind of, he's staying in a dharamshala and doing bhikshatana in his own kingdom. And he was very worried, and finally he sent word, and finally he made sure that Buddha is visiting his parents. So finally the day has come that Buddha is visiting his palace, or Shuddhodana's palace. And he kind of visits everyone. He talks to everyone, his father, his mother, his friends, his relative. Everyone welcomed him. Whatever Shuddhodana was feeling, or his mother Maya was feeling, they were very happy to what he has achieved, because that's the power of Buddha, right? Anyone who is going in front of him, they kind of get into a mode of Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. After a lot of time, he asked his father, where's Yashodhara? Right? Why don't I see Yashodhara around, and how come she's not around when I'm here? His father uh, informs Buddha that Yashodhara is still not able to let go the event that has happened, and she's still keeping it to her heart. And Yashodhara is insisting that Buddha himself will have to come visit Yashodhara in private, right? So think about it, right? So this all looks like a normal story. Now Buddha will go visit Yashodhara. What do you expect, right? So 6 years of his journey versus his past life. He has seen his parents, he's seen his friends and everyone, and he went to his his family, his immediate family, his spouse, his wife. And remember Rahul, when he left Buddha Gautama, when he left Yashodhara, Rahul was very small. He was not even able to walk. Now 6 years has passed and Rahul has grown up. Right now is at least a 6 to 7 year old kid. So when I was reading this, or when I was really kind of understanding this, I was expecting that Buddha would go say sorry, or try to give some moments of affection to Yashodhara, or try to do something where he can convince Yashodhara, or kind of offer apologies or sorries on that. Now this is where I want all of you guys to focus on. Are you a Buddha or are you Yashodhara? So despite of all my thoughts, it is said that Gautama, even though he had a conversation, but the story goes like this, that Gautama goes in front of Yashodhara, bends down and says, Buddham Sharanam, Bhiksha, Bhavati Bhikshandehi, my apologies. Gautama says, the Buddha says, Bhavati Bhikshandehi. Now, he has renounced everything, right? He is being a Buddha. He is a monk. He is following his dharma no matter at what place, what time, who is in front of him, and what is it is, right? So that's the characteristic. He is following his dharma and said, Bhavati Bhikshantihi. Now, what would you expect from Yashodhara? I'm sure there is a conversation that is happening and everything going on. She was not able to let go. Now, what is that she's not able to let go? It is the ego, friends. So she is kind of holding on to emotion. Let's call it as ego. It may be wrong, but let's call it as ego right now, that she was not able to forgive Gautama, who is now a Buddha, or she's not able to let go that thought or that emotion that he was holding. Now, when Buddha says, Bhavati Bhikshandehi, Yashodhara reacts in a beautiful way. Now she let go everything that she has, and she takes her son Rahul's hand and places in Buddha's hand. So when Buddha is asking for Bhiksha, she is giving her utmost treasure. What is treasure? There is a price, for every mother, the kids are the priceless treasures that we have. And without even thinking, she just kind of offers his hand, and she's giving her priceless treasure to Buddha. Now, this is what we need to understand, right? So eventually, Yashodhara, Rahul followed Gautam Buddha, and they followed their path of enlightenment. But what I want all of you guys to talk and think about is, are you a Buddha who is following your dharma, as in your discipline, no matter what? And when you are in a need to really kind of ask for forgiveness or ask for something, you just kneel down and say, Bhavati Bhikshandehi? Or can you be that Yashodhara who has 6 years of emotion holding on to her, raising a child and looking at the kingdom and everything, let go that particular emotion as soon as someone is kneeling ahead of you, and giving the best that you have, to Buddha? So this is what all of us should talk about, friends. So whenever we are at a situation where you have to really kind of follow your discipline or your dharma, you should always stick to that. That is the law of universe. That is the law of nature. And when you have to let go your emotions, let go your ego, and forgiveness is a question, do your best, give your best, and be a Yashodhara. So this has inspired me a lot, and I tried these two characteristics. I'm not 100%, but at least I'm trying to follow these two characteristics, and I've already seen a lot of change in terms of my relationships, in terms of my activities that I am doing, and I would request friends, all of you, to consider that and be a Buddha when time is needed, or be a Yashodhara when time asks you for to be an Yashodhara. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Naresh. That was a wonderful explanation. It's actually very thought-provoking and very profound also. Do you want to stick to your rules in spite of the situations and fate you are in, and also let go of your vengeance and anger towards someone, and you let go of those pent-up emotions for a while and be in the moment and surrender and understand other person's perception. It's not that easy, but what you explained today is really amazing. Many thousands of years ago, people were able to do this. There were, as you said, as you rightly said, there were many Buddhas prior to Gautama and after Gautama. They had no literature as widely as possible today at that point of time. But what they were receiving as part of their intuition from their parents and from their, inner conscience, they were able to follow that. And contrary to that, we are very in the world where information is abundantly available, and we can read so many scriptures and documentaries and their life histories, and yet we are not able to follow all these. Yeah, having these Sajjana Sangatya and conversations will definitely, reinforce these stories and try to remember what they were and how we can cultivate those hobbies in us, those, characteristics in us. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Karnagaru.
Yeah, masters, if you have any questions, please. Please. Naresh is here. We have 8 more minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Naresh, for this wonderful wisdom. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed listening to you. As always, not just as a friend, but I see you as a master all the time. Not because of the words, but the actions that you do with profound wisdom. Like your every action has some wisdom in it. Thank you for all that services that you have provided so far with this, and we continue to uh, make this friendship grow and grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you for your time, and always remember, question yourself, are you going to be a Buddha or are you going to be a Yashodhara? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Naresh Garu, for coming into the program. Everything has a different perspective to look at this one. So when we look at this, when I heard from you, it's completely a different perspective for sure. I mean, letting go of the ego. It's such a great Telugulo aithe, like I get a right words like the gattam after meeting, like leaving her, abandoning her, and coming back. And what is that? Like they talk, and it's such an you nicely portrayed and gave a very great message. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pushpaharu. Thank you. Okay.
There's a series on Buddha on Netflix. So I watched all the episodes. At one point of now, Netflix removed it. It was so good. I mean, what you explained is I was able to recall all those moments that Gautama Buddha went through, and when he comes back to Dharmashala and starts living there, Yeah, eventually Yashodhara also joins him in the Dharmashala.
Yes.
And
I think there's the story is there is a profound conversation which happens between Yashodhara and Buddha. That itself is a very big subject to learn about, right? But what I feel is these short conversations or the stories would kind of trigger something, right? So you should always remember. I remember it in a way that okay, if I want to be, if I there is something between any of my friend or individual whom I'm working with, there is a you always come across some kind of an air between yourself, right? Like a egoistic or you're insecure or something. So you always have to give up. You always have to give up, and for you to give up, be the Buddha. Go to him first. You don't have to wait for him to come back. If you're expecting the other person to come to you, it means you're still in that state of mind, or you're still holding on to that emotion. Just go, you know, and then you work it out. It helps.
Yeah, I think even the Buddha's Wife, that is also a profound book. If audience, like if you did not read about Buddha's wife, yeah, please go ahead and read it. It has a lot of knowledge, like how Buddhahood came from Yashodhara perspective. It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a book written by Maithili Sharan Gupta. That's the author. Yashodhara is the name. I did not complete the book. But I have read the extracts, trying to understand the perspective from the author. So these are the extracts from the author Maithili Sharan Gupta, and it really touched me, right? So you don't have to really have a complete story around it, but I was able to connect to that.
he was an enlightened master herself.
I think I once remember Patriji told that all the pyramid masters are not actually Buddhas, but Yashodharas. Like Yashodhara still enlightened as enlightened as Buddha, but she is with the family throughout her life most of the time with raising a kid, everything, but still was in the circle in the society, but as enlightened as Buddha. So that's what Patriji usually say for all the pyramid masters, that you are still in the family, but you have the same capacity as Buddha. You know what Buddha has, how Buddha enlightened, you are also enlightened, but you are in the family, not leaving the family.
The
Thank you.
famous middle path. That's all always used to say.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you, masters. It was a wonderful session today. Thank you, Naresh, for jumping in and presenting your wisdom to all of us. Thank you so much and have a great night. We'll meet you all tomorrow with one other wonderful guest. Thank you.
Thank you all.